Blither, an idiot. G'day, I'm Ash. Welcome to a preview of the F5A. Now, I've had some great success in this vehicle, and I've had some fantastic moments playing this vehicle. When I thought I was recording, I wasn't at all, so unfortunately those are lost to the ether. The very first match that I had in this machine, I got 7 kills. The next match, I got 5 kills. The match after that, I got another 5 kills. And I thought, oh beauty, that'll make the video, you know, I'll make a point about this vehicle being really fantastic and quite, like, legitimately the most same aircraft as the Chinese variant, except without AIM-9Ps, it gets AIM-9Es, and it gets RWR, right? And obviously, it's probably the worst way you can obtain a vehicle by the Build-A-thon crafting system. Is it overpowered? No. Is it a good fighter? Yes, in the right hands. But the same, like, side of the coin here. This thing is obtained via the most sort of strange way. Is it worth it? I'd suggest you just stay clear of it, honestly, because it is just an F5A. You know, the F5C is better in all regards, the premium one. And the one that you get in the American tree, the F5E, is worlds better because it's actually a lot faster and it's actually a more decent jet aircraft because it gets access to AIM-9Js. And you can actually fight aircraft that this thing actually fights, which is quite funny because this is 10.3 and you're getting shoved in top tier matches as something that, well, is still very good, but is just a little bit subpar compared to the other variants in-game. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Who knows? Because this is an event vehicle after all. You don't want your event vehicles being too broken, right? But it would have been nice to see something else, like an F105, or maybe, you know, another type of jet aircraft. But I suppose, you know, you can't really use all those assets that have been data mined and found in the game files, can you? The hundreds of other jets and other aircraft that have been spotted. And probably would be better as a unique event vehicle. Regardless, we have to have the same copy and paste. Now, it's not a bad aircraft, it's an F5. I've already wasted both of my missiles on a Phantom, which both missed, and now there is a couple of other aircraft coming in, so I'm just picking my targets, as you do. There isn't really much else to say about the vehicle. It's an F5, you fly around and you just aimlessly go, okay, well, here's my target, I'm going to pick it, and you just fling your aircraft around. Really, that's what the F5 is. Because it's so nimble, so agile, you can pull like ridiculous G-limits on the airframe of the aircraft. And no matter which way you throw it, it tends to somehow survive. Very versatile, very rugged, and I'd say probably one of my favourite aircraft in the game due to the fact that you can just basically, you know, look, do casually 13 Gs, no problem. Yep, no problem. Am I going to pull out of this? Yep, sure am. Don't worry, doing 13 Gs though. And I suppose that's the charm of an F5. If you have a fully upgraded crew in this machine, it tends to be a lot better. But be warned, if you have a stock crew in this machine, yeah, you're going to basically overload yourself consistently. Vigan's trying to go head-on with me here. I don't necessarily know why he's doing that. I have a better gun than he does, except for the fact that his is more devastating. The real problem here is just the F5. Just look at this. Good luck catching anything, especially if you're lower speed than most of the jets. And turn fighting out the way is really the only way of getting away from anybody or anything. Hopefully we get a kill soon. I'm quite itching. There we go. How to win a head-on with a FGR. Just surprisingly that I didn't come away more damaged than that. Anyhow, there's a Vigan, 2 Vigans, and other aircraft up around there. MiG-27. Vigans are probably the worst thing you can face. They're incredibly fast. They've got, though, beautiful missiles, and they can basically outturn you and almost match you, but they can out-accelerate the living daylights out of you. Of course, they are a faster aircraft, but it is what it is. Again, I'm really disappointed that I didn't save that footage. Or precisely that I wasn't recording during those earlier matches that I had in this machine, because it would have been fantastic to show you a couple of deflection shots, a couple of inverted rolls, a couple of missile kills, and a couple of other decent kills. I had 1 bomb kill in one of the games I played as well. It's not to be. It's like whenever I, you know, start playing a vehicle fresh and I'm not recording, then I usually do really well. Whenever I'm off camera, I do really well. The moment I start recording, however, yeah, you get results on matches like this. This is really just a strange aircraft in a weird battle rating. And don't get me started on the new battle rating changes at all. If they come through, I'll basically end up by quitting AirRB. I have no real reason to play aircraft anymore, aside from spading all the aircraft and going through and just having a bit of fun with all of them, and rediscovering aircraft that I haven't played in years. But at the same token, I don't really want to spend more time playing the same climbing or flying to an objective for 6 minutes only to get shot down by the first engagement, right? AirRB is a bit finicky, and while jets are fantastic because the action is about maybe 1 to 2 minutes, you're really sort of limited on what you can and can't do if you're in a propeller-driven aircraft, because it's all about, oh, I must be higher than this person to engage this person, and I need to go and maintain my energy and do all that. That's fantastic. That really is. That's a good thing about War Thunder. However, AirRB is kind of a bit stale at the moment. And if they go through with some of the battle rating changes that they're proposing, bringing the Lightning down to, I think, was it 9.3 or 9.0, and bringing some of the other jets down, it's gonna... it's not gonna be a good one. And luckily I managed to survive that head-on. The MiG-27 should have absolutely nailed the living daylights out of me. He's got a critical hit in his right wing. We're gonna go chase him again. He's come up for some more, which I don't know why, because, you know, F5 is quite superior aircraft. But in saying that, I missed all my shots, and he's going to come in for another pass. But more importantly, if these BR changes come through that are proposed as of September this year, well, basically goodbye to the majority of the of AirRB players, and that's the kill on the MiG-27. Not too glamorous kill, but it extends the whole entire match. I'm going to fly back towards the friendly AA here. I have no idea where that Viggen is, and I know that there is a Viggen on the enemy team because I remember the guy's name. Now, thankfully, a friendly fellow who was spectating the match decided to put up a blind hunt. So I'll just give him the old 1-2, thank you very much. And now we go after the Viggen. Now, he knew roughly where I was, but I didn't know where he was exactly. And he does put off a couple of missiles at me. I think he even put one off there, but I didn't necessarily see it. Now, I've got one missile left. Should I put him one up? So I've had great success with some of the missiles. I managed to get an F-104 who decided to go pull up vertically and thought he could outrun this F-5. Well, turns out missile can go faster than the F-105 in a climb. Now, this Viggen, hats off to him, who was using the best of his ability to really, you know, use the Viggen in a correct pattern. You're versing something that is incredibly light, incredibly nimble. You yourself might be very nimble and have great speed. You've got really good missiles and really good guns, but the F-5 outclasses the Viggen in a 1v1. Because ultimately, I can just keep turning on his inside and just pulling around while he just dances up above me trying to get a bead on my position, and I can sort of either deflect, move away, or just sort of pretend like nothing ever happens, which is what exactly I'm going to do right here. Pull up and around, go inverted here, straight on the 6 of the Viggen, and now we're playing bingo, essentially. And I will say that it's quite disappointing that this vehicle is in a build-a-thon. I don't like the build-a-thon events. I absolutely detest them. They are a waste of space, they are a waste of time. Essentially, they are a PR move for the marketplace and for people to move on a bunch of stock. It's an easy, cheap way of getting a lot of people invested in your marketplace and activity on the marketplace without having to do really or much effort at all. You've had to set up a system where, you know, players can list prices of vehicles, and they can also do a whole host of other things, and all you've had to really do is make an icon for something and then have a set price for that on the marketplace, which enables people, you know, player base, to really sort of take advantage of that and then set the prices as they would. But you've actually had to put the income into it. So all the money there is all circulated stuff, and every Gallagher coin that you earn is essentially money that's already been invested into the platform, which is quite strange in itself. Now, I'm not against the marketplace. I mean, I was initially. In fact, I still don't like it. I don't, let me get my head correct here. I don't like the marketplace. But what it offers is a unique chance for you to get vehicles that weren't necessarily available in other means, that being event vehicles and so on and so forth. But I don't know. I don't like build-a-thon events. There's no possible way for you to actually properly get all the event vehicles all at once, because, you know, grinding it effectively, you're playing a full-time job, and essentially you really, if you want to invest time in it, the best way to do it is by buying parts or investing in it. Now, Vigan and I have had a couple of duels here. He hasn't necessarily pulled through. I think he's getting a little bit impatient. Let's hope he does, because this is a very versatile aircraft when it comes to turning. Sort of waiting around loitering. But yeah, build-a-thon events are probably the worst. At least with other events you can actually play them and you can earn kills for getting them, and they tend to be a little bit easier. I'm not saying that the event isn't easy. I see a lot of people who have grinded it out on the day one because they've able to sell and basically sell off all the parts early, and they've made entirely, like, a lot of money. But the chances and the time period in which you can actually do that are incredibly slim. Remember, an hour after the event, some of the parts were only selling for, like, maybe 20 cents at most. The technical documents were selling for about 10 galleon, and then they've dropped even. So there is a lack of a real sort of... there's more people aware of how the marketplace works, and there are more people willing to just sell their parts, because this event, let's be honest here, is really mediocre. Because of the top-end rewards, there is no real way for you to, I guess, get the vehicles. Otherwise, you just invest in, you know, aircraft or into the Swedish vehicle, and you've got this thing as the top-end reward, which is kind of pathetic. Anyhow, that's my opinion. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. That's the third kill, and I thought I'd just use this as a bit of talking heads video, as I'm quite disappointed I didn't get to capture the footage of the other games that we played. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think of this thing, and I'll see you next time.